Hello everyone, and welcome to the
145th
episode of the Poorly Planned Podcast. My name is Benedict. You may know me better as BHL Hudson. Here we talk about movies, TV shows, a bunch of nonsense. With me as always is my friend, co-host, and man who's recording this in June, but it's probably going up in, like, July?
2026 April?
Who knows? Frederick is here again. Surprise!
Yes.
I know you weren't expecting
Surprise guest.
But we managed to book him for this one.
My schedule is very busy, but I managed to sneak the pod in every once in a while.
We are back for another summer pre-recorded pod. Freddie is probably off adventuring amongst the lions on the savannah, and I may be in Maine. So
Ooh, you may be in the lion mane? Little connection there? About how we are undoubtedly spiritually connected as brothers.
We are already on fire, clearly, so hit that like button. But today we're going to be
the worst. Since we are already brilliant, please subscribe.
Today we're going to be talking about, we're going to be doing part 3 of our summer-long series, Disney animated movies. Ranked.
Yes.
It's an important keyword in the title. So, if you missed part 1 or part 2, who am I kidding? You didn't miss them. They did great numbers, and by they did, I mean the first one's doing okay.
The first one's done okay, and the second one, we hope, doesn't flop horribly.
Isn't even out yet, but we'll see. But so, in the first one we talked your Snow Whites, your Cinderellas, your old man things. In the second episode, we talked your Renaissance, your Lion King, your Aladdin. And now in episode 3, we are talking the kind of weird in-between period between the Renaissance and the like new Renaissance. But honestly, one of possibly my favorite era, or has my most favorite movies. And it probably is because I was growing up in this time. But
probably because it came out and I watched them in the cinema as a baby. But
it is the like 1997 to 2010 kind of era.
Okay.
So
before they started going like close to 3D animation.
Yeah, so we're going to be going basically from Hercules to, I think we'll end on Princess and the Frog, even though that is kind of a modern era one. But we've got the likes of Bolt, of Brother Bear, of Lilo and Stitch. It's going to be a good episode. I haven't seen any of those movies.
It's going to be a great episode.
Actually, no, I have seen Bolt.
I've seen all of them.
Okay. Before we get into it, by the way, because I feel like these summer pods, we should add a little spice. So there are time codes down below if you want to skip to that. But real quick, completely random, there was this thing, and this will be super outdated by now, but I hadn't seen it before, so I imagine you haven't. But it was brought on the, they mentioned it on on the TMG podcast, and I can't do it justice here, because doing it justice would just be reading the whole thing so you could see how fucking, like, long and insane it is. But, basically, Vin Diesel, he, back in April, he posted, like, Fast and Furious X or whatever, day 1 on his Instagram. And you can find this tweet. It's from Cooper Co. on Twitter. It says, Vin Diesel absolutely going through it in prep for this movie. He's going to bring it. And basically, a fan left, like, a comment about how much he loves Vin Diesel and how much his movies have helped him, calling Triple X a classic film, I would like to mention, and how his dad loved Vin Diesel or something. Not bad at all. And this whole situation isn't bad. It's just very strange, because then Vin Diesel replied to this comment, and he wrote, like, a fucking essay that goes all over the place and is so bizarre. Like, it starts kind of, like, he's like, it starts, I'm a bit jet-lagged and tired, but your opinion does matter. It is why I make these movies. And you're thinking, like, okay, he's going to go on, like, a thing about, like, he's going to write, like, thanks for the support or whatever. And then he just kind of, like, weaves in and out of, like, some kind of vague point where he starts talking about how...
some weird psychedelic trip he's on?
He starts talking about how he had, like, the biggest Facebook page, and then how, like, Tommy Lee Jones was going to play Hobbs, and, like...
What?
And then he somehow manages to insult Dwayne Johnson in it as well, which is hilarious. And it's just, like... I don't know, it's, like, sweet, I guess, because it's responding to this super fan, and he's, like, giving him some kind of inside look, but it just goes like I can't. Yeah, the thing is, I can't do it justice because me doing it justice would just be reading the whole thing, which would take like 10 minutes. But go look at this sometime. It's incredibly bizarre. So I guess nice Diesel thing,
see.
but I just had to get this out of my system somewhere. It was just wildly insane.
I won't lie. Again, see, might sound a little insensitive or mean, but Diesel does not strike me as a man who would give a rat's ass about what his followers or fans think of him.
Well,
the fact that he does this is. It's very strange.
But he also, he like, it seems like he's responding to him, but then he kind of just starts like monologuing to himself, and the fans, I feel like the fans sitting there like going like,
the fans sitting there twiddling his thumbs. Okay, Diesel, I just wanted an autograph, really?
Yeah. The top reply, or I think it's the same guy, he writes, this man is posting as if he carries the weight of the entire world on his shoulders, and you know what? He does, which is a very fair statement. But yeah, anyway, just had to... Go look at that. It's very confusing.
I will have a look at that afterwards because that sounds truly insane.
Moving on to related to Vin Diesel, I guess somehow Disney movies. Spoilers for all these, by the way.
Diesel-knee movies, as they say.
Diesel-knee movies. Great, good stuff. I think if he starts his own production company, that is what he should call it. Diesel-knee movies, and it's just like his face, like a poorly cut out PNG, just like smiling.
It's just a 2-hour image of Vin Diesel's face that slowly gets more like horror story-esque.
It kind of just slowly widens.
It slowly becomes its normal face.
Yeah, actually, his face is already pretty wide. I mean, not in a mean way, not like in a fat way. I'm just saying, like, not that there's anything wrong with that.
But he's got thick bones. You know?
No, he's just a big boy. He's just like a wide man. Anyway, well, speaking of wide,
how would you describe Vin Diesel? He's a thick boy, wide man.
Speaking of wide men, though, this is a very apt transition. Hercules is absolutely yoked. That is the first movie we have here. Hercules.
News just in, Hercules is yoked.
We're going to start with Hercules, 1997's, I believe. And honestly, possibly my favorite Disney movie of them all. I don't mean to give away my ranking, but Hercules would be up there.
Of them all being of all eras as well?
Of all eras possible. I mean,
God,
it's up there. I know I have a weird like connection to this movie that more so than other people. Like most people think like, yeah, it's kind of just an average thing. And for some reason, I just loved it growing up. It might be because I love like Greek mythology, and as a kid, I did. You know, I was a big Percy Jackson kid. And that doesn't make me sound like the coolest boy, but
no, I loved Greek mythology. I was a huge Percy Jackson guy.
But it's also, I just like, also as we talked about in the sort of first one, we enjoy the kind of the more adventure, you know, a bit of a we do
like a good adventure,
exciting thing, and it's just fun, and it has great songs. Probably my favorite songs in any Disney movie. I may or may not have been like super inspired by those songs as a young boy when I was like running.
I will find my way.
I can go the distance.
I will. How does it go then?
Fuck. I've listened to the song like hundreds of times. I will. Shit.
I know, me too.
I will. Someday I'll be there. Anyway, okay,
I don't care how far. I will meet Abu and Jafar. I don't know.
It'll be worth my while.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. I could sing the song so well before.
I've listened to this like hundreds of times. But anyway, it's not just that song, even though that is a certified banger. It is also I was about to say D'Onofrio. What's his name? Danny DeVito.
D'Onofrio.
Danny DeVito's song, the One Last Hope song, and like when he's doing a training montage.
What about the Herc is on a roll or something?
Zero to Hero. Herc was on.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
Very good. A
Save
Star's
my soul.
Born.
Herc is on a roll.
And I don't know why they like it might seem like a little bit of a random choice to make the music style. What is it, like gospel? Is that the... I don't know anything about music, like terminology, but I think it's like a gospel style of song.
I guess, yeah.
It like might seem at the time like kind of a like Greek mythology gospel style of music, but it works really well.
It does work weirdly well. Yeah.
It works really well, and it's just like a fun. The whole movie just has like a fun vibe to it. You're just like, yeah, you go, Herc. And he goes from a skinny boy to a big boy, and I love that. It's the same reason I love Captain America. Obviously, there are other reasons why I enjoy those films, but mainly skinny boy becomes big boy. I love that.
It's my favorite movie trope.
It's my favorite genre of film.
When a twig becomes a log. It's so good.
I mean, the animation style is a little
clunky.
A little, I guess, cheaper looking than some of the earlier stuff like Aladdin and Lion King, but it has a very likable protagonist. It has...
I forget, is the villain Hades?
It is, yeah. One of my favorite Disney villains. And the love interest is very cool. May or may not have been like a slight Disney childhood crush of mine, perhaps.
I see. I never liked her that much, but
and she has a great
go
song
off,
too.
King, I guess.
She has a wonderful song. It's like I won't say I'm in love. Do 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 do. Anyway, I mean, okay, the gods, little weird. Why is Hermes like a little blue man with glasses? Like they're a little bit like some of them are like purple.
Little strange.
That's a little weird. If a bit of an
I do like Zeus and his design and like his personality there. He's very like boisterous. Quite fun.
And it's a fun take on Greek mythology, like with the Titans and all that shit. Just
I was completely, again, terrible movie reviewing podcast, but have you seen the edit? I was like, where they removed Zeus's beard?
No.
And they just made him an absolute potato. It's so good.
Zeus, beard.
Search.
He is such a thumb. Oh my god. Oh, I love that. It just says Diglet. Which is very appropriate. Okay.
Very appropriate.
This is what the image will be in the podcast for this part.
Great. Anyway, until we get to this point, people will be horrified.
They'll be like, what the fuck? Anyway, good shout. I love this movie. I think it's so much fun, and it has a good story as well, and I love Danny DeVito. And at the end, when the Danny DeVito character is like, at the start, he's like, I want people to point to this.
It just sounded completely unrelated. The story's so good, and I love Danny DeVito.
Excuse me. I love Danny DeVito's character, but at the start, he's like, I want people to point to the stars and be like, look, that's whatever his name's boy. And at the end, someone does that, and he tears up, and it's like, Danny DeVito. Anyway, I'm a big fan.
So anyways, sorry about that.
So I like this movie.
No, it's a good one, but we'll talk about this more as we go on, because a lot of the like 1997 to 2010 Disney movies did this. That personally, I enjoyed the Hercules TV show more than the actual movie.
I never actually saw it. I didn't even realize it existed until recently.
It is so good. And the same thing with the Aladdin TV show that I forgot to talk about last time. But like, it's because you know how sometimes it's, like today they'll do some like really cheap knockoff TV shows. Like they'll do like How to Train Your Dragon, but the animation is truly just awful. And it's not the same voice actors and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like that is not good. But I think for the majority of it, they got like like a lot of the same voice actors, and it's like similar level of like animation. And it's like each episode is just a new Hercules adventure, and I loved it. It was so good.
I mean, I can't justify at age 20 going back and watching the Hercules animated show, but at the same time, might be a shout, you know.
I think you should do it.
Well, moving on to one I think you love and I like, but I haven't seen in a while. Mulan.
Not my favorite of the Disney movies, but a good one, I think. Song-wise, brilliant. I love Mushu, big Eddie Murphy performance.
Big Eddie Murphy performance.
By far my favorite part of that movie, I think. And then like some of the action's very like it's so good as well. And like the I'll Make a Man Out of You song. It's like someday I'll make a man out of you.
Also, that was a very big inhale for nothing. You went like, and I really love the "I'll Make a Man Out of You" song. Yeah, no, it's also a classic story that kind of like that you can get behind, and I think it's a having not seen it in a while, but I do remember one thing that I liked. It has this kind of epic feel to it that some Disney movies don't have. Like, even Hercules is always, even in the most, like, kind of epic finale, it is still very, like, cartoony and, like, aware that it's, like, a fun Disney animated movie. And this one does, I feel like there's some battle scenes that are, like, a bit more intense.
There's some big scale stuff where it's like Mulan blows up like a mountain, causing an avalanche to kill like an entire army. It's like, it feels, at least part of the movie feels big scale. And also, it's also like, and a lot of Disney movies do this as well, obviously, like, again with Hercules, but like the fact that they just like tell a really good story, but then like from the, I don't know about perspective, but like including and incorporating like other cultures. I don't know, as a child and still now, I find it, I'm sitting there like, oh, this is very interesting.
Yeah, it can be a cool, like you say, especially as a child, it can be kind of a cool way of, like, I don't know, first interacting with a culture that you may not have, especially you being, like, a sheltered Danish boy. Never left his bastard town. Sorry, I don't know why I'm getting so aggressive, but, it can be a cool way of, like,
bastard town.
seeing other cultures and through, like, traditional stories and that kind of thing. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. A good one, but I feel like I've got more to say about other ones, but yeah,
a solid one, a good one. I haven't seen it in a while, and it wasn't really like one I loved growing up, so that's why you'll notice with most of these Disney movies, the ones that like we're really passionate about probably aren't even like the best ones. It's just like the ones that we personally grew up with. So for example, the next one, I got really nothing to say about Tarzan, but I know you're a big fan.
Oh my god, Tarzan! I love Tarzan. It's such a good, honestly. Top 5 Disney movies for me.
I've seen the memes where he
time.
is clenching a vine with his butt cheeks. Have you seen that?
Yes, I have seen this.
It's very good.
It's like wait up, Tarzan moving mad because he's holding Jane in both his arms, and then you just see like a back drawing of the absolute most clenched booty cheeks I've ever seen.
Honestly, very
swinging
impressive.
by a vine.
If you got glutes that can do that, that's a skill. Anyway,
honestly, that's a superpower right there. But yeah, genuinely such a good movie. Like I'd say one of the best villains in Disney of all time as well.
Who is the villain in Tarzan? Is
This
it the
guy
little
called
British
Jason.
guy, like the little mustachioed British man?
No, so that's Jane's dad. He's a good guy.
He's a goofy man.
He's a little goofball, but he's a scientist, you know. But it's basically like this, like, what would you call him? A hunter / soldier? Not soldier. I don't know.
Oh,
like a poacher, I guess you could call him.
Yes. I do think I remember this.
And he's just so like, because it's a weird like interaction between them because him and Tarzan kind of become friends. Or not friends, but like obviously like Jason's the bad guy throughout, but he like learns things from Jason, and it's like I don't know, it's. Like, and there's some weirdly, like, wholesome montages to the Phil Collins music. Can I also just say, the Tarzan music, spectacular. Such good songs. Like, go on.
Sorry, no, I was just going to agree with you that the Phil Collins is quite good.
It's so good. It's like, and there's so many different ones, like, Son of man, look to the sky. Da 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 da. And
your mic just absolutely bass boosted the shit out of that in my ear. Very intense.
Son of man.
That is a good one. I do have a slight hatred of Phil Collins songs just because the only 2 times I've almost crashed a car was when a Phil Collins song was playing, and I can't explain it, but
what?
It's
what? Excuse me.
It's like
I've not heard about this.
I mean, it wasn't like a crash. It was just like, when you're on the highway and you're like changing lanes on the highway and you like kind of have to look over your shoulder, and I forgot to do it, and like I almost rammed into someone. The 2 times that has happened in my life, Phil Collins was playing. You remember when Jamie Foxx was talking about Hex songs in Baby Driver? Phil Collins is my Hex artist. Anyway, unrelated. Please continue.
I do not remember him talking about Hex, but damn, that's crazy. Imagine you died
to Phil Collins.
Driving to Phil Collins.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, I guess it's one of the better ways to go.
Kind of a Sigma move.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, yes.
Anyway.
Tarzan, like the story setting in a jungle, like how they like utilize that in a lot of the action scenes and also just like day life, so cool. Like the vine swinging and like Tarzan freaking sliding down long branches and stuff. Very, very
I do
cool.
remember that action, and I think it blends like 3D with 2D to like make those action
Yeah, I
scenes.
think it does.
And it's quite good. I mean, I do think his feet would be fucked from sliding on those branches, but we will allow it. But
Now, my biggest problem with Disney is that I like a small boy becoming a big boy, but Tarzan not getting splinters in his feet, too unrealistic for moi.
yeah. He also has some I remember kind of delightful monkey friends and elephant friends.
He does have some delightful monkey friends.
Great. Okay, 10 out of 10. Yeah, no, good movie. Good movie.
And they trash the camp, and also I think probably one of the darkest death scenes of all time in like the way Jason dies. Do you remember how he dies?
He like falls from a thing, maybe?
Well, so basically like him and Tarzan are having like the final battle, and then Tarzan tangles him in like a bunch of vines, so Jason's like hanging, just suspended by vines. And he pulls out his machete and tries to like cut himself loose. But then there's a vine around his neck that he doesn't see. And he cuts everything but that one. And then he falls and hangs himself.
Oh, goodness.
You just see the silhouette.
Wow. Yeah, no, I'm looking at a Google image here to an article that says 21 times Disney took things way too far. And it's a picture of that. So
And it's a picture of bald Zeus.
That would be like an affront to the audience if they did that for real.
Imagine that. Just imagine, like, in Hercules, everything's normal. Zeus is looking normal. And then for, like, 1 second scene, he's just completely hairless. And then it goes back and just nothing happens.
All the children in the audience start crying their eyes out. Fantasia 2000? I don't think I've seen this.
I've not seen this either.
Okay, whatever. The Tigger Movie? I'm pretty sure I've seen this, and I'm pretty sure I loved it.
I believe... Is this where Tigger gets in an avalanche?
For some reason, I thought you were going to say, is this when Tigger gets in a car accident?
Listening to Phil Collins?
Into an avalanche. I don't know. No, it's where they all dress
think
up
he
like
does.
Tigger. They all put on
That's
Tigger
the
costumes.
entire movie.
I guess, yeah, it's very intense.
I imagine it's either in... Is it Kanga or Ranga that the kid is?
Kid?
The kangaroo kid.
Roo. The kid is Roo.
Roo. All right. So
It's Kanga and Roo. You
Oh,
absolute
I see.
dumbass.
Ranga, Kanga. Sorry. Excuse my lack of Winnie the Pooh lore knowledge. But I don't know if it's in this one. But I know there is one Winnie the Pooh / Tigger / Roo movie where Tigger is really sad and is in an avalanche, and then him and Roo use their tails to boink out of there. It's actually a really cool action scene.
That is in the Tigger Movie. The Avalanche Roo Save Tigger. On YouTube if you want to find it.
News just in. That is in the Tigger Movie.
Well, that is... I guess I haven't seen this movie because how would I forget such a badass action scene? But anyway.
Like, you jest, but from what my 6-year-old mind remembers, very, very cool.
We then have... Actually... This might be my favorite. I'm going to say that like multiple times, I'm guessing. I'm going to keep doing this, so don't trust my words. But this would definitely be up there. The Emperor's New Groove.
Ooh. A movie that is widely not very well known or liked, but you, for some reason, love.
Well, I think it's become... Because it for a while, every single like video on YouTube and list or whatever that said like the most underrated Disney movies, the like poster for it was always The Emperor's New Groove. And I think like since then, it's kind of in being like the most underrated. A lot of people have checked it out since then, and it's like become kind of more beloved.
I see.
But I was there first. I was the original Kronk
similar to the Morbius meme. We were there first.
We were at the epicenter, and this is actually one where I love the movie, but also the TV show I loved as a kid, The Emperor's New School. My favorite show growing up. We watched it whenever we came home from school on like a Monday. I think it was on at like 2 p.m. or something, and we'd watch it on our big ass like box TV. And it was just a super delightful time. Cusco getting into all kinds of shenanigans and going to school with Kronk. That movie itself, probably the funniest Disney movie. Like just like a genuine kind of like laugh out loud, like good time. It has what's his name? David Spade, a friend of Sandler.
I am a fan of the Spade.
And the Goodman as
the Goodman as well.
And it's just, yeah, it's hilarious. It's very creative. It's in this, what is it, like Incan or Aztec, I think Incan, like, kind of setting. I mean, very loosely in a cartoon way. And it's like, yeah, like
very historically correct.
Yeah. And like Yzma is a fantastic villain. This like gross, like kind of, I don't know, witch / lizard woman. I don't know.
She's kind of similar to Hades, I think.
Yeah.
In some ways.
And it's just hilarious. It's just a really funny movie, and it's super wholesome as well. Like, it has like one of the most wholesome Disney movie endings where, I don't know if you've seen it or if I should spoil it, but I mean, you can kind of guess.
You can spoil it. I have seen it. I don't really remember. But
well, I mean, basically just Kronk and Cusco, or not Kronk and Cusco, Pacha and Cusco, they, become good friends and they live next to each other, and Cusco, learns his lesson. It's a great arrogant douchebag becomes, more humble, nicer guy story. Just a perfect kids movie, honestly, I would say. Super funny and like inventive. Big fan.
I see. Yeah, I've never really gotten into it. I remember liking the show, but yeah.
And we don't have it on the list here, but the direct-to-DVD sequel Kronk's New Groove, while objectively terrible, is a movie that I love from my childhood very much. So,
objectively terrible.
I don't think, fuck it. It's a good movie. Fuck you. You specifically, Frederick. Anyway.
Isn't the way you said it? It is factually the worst.
No, I love it, kind of. I don't know. I had a weird relationship with it. Anyway.
we didn't talk for a few weeks, and then, goddamn, I just needed it.
Actually, you know what? Sometime, because we also have, like, Bambi 2 on here and, like, The Jungle Book 2. Maybe sometime we could do an episode on, like, the kind of Disney direct-to-DVD.
Disney,
or
do you want to do, like, Disney sequels?
Yeah, like the kind of shitty Disney sequels that were sort of like, they're like 4 Cinderella movies and all this shit. Maybe we could like do something about that. But anyway,
I did not know there was 4 Cinderella movies.
One of them there's time travel in. Anyway,
one of them Ant-Man shows up and is like, "Oh, stuck in the quantum realm."
Also, for the record,
license.
This is not on this list. There's like Pixar movies and like Studio Ghibli and other things that are kind of Disney associated. We're just picking out the ones that are like Disney animated, and also the ones we like kind of want to talk about. So have that. I think you. Oh well, these next 3 are like a treasure trove for you, I think, and I don't think I've seen any of them.
Very cool.
Are you a fan of Atlantis: The Lost Empire? Actually.
Okay, Atlantis: The Lost Empire. I don't think I've ever seen.
Oh, okay, never mind. Me neither. We'll skip that. But then we do go on to a film and a franchise that I never got into, but you are obsessed with, I would say.
I would say
Brother Bear. No. Lilo and Stitch.
Bolt.
The Piglet movie. A franchise.
The Tigger franchise.
The Brother Bear franchise. What a horrific image. Imagine Brother Bear was like a successful film that just spawned like hundreds of sequels.
There is a Brother Bear sequel, isn't there?
Oh, God. Anyway, I've never even seen Brother Bear. I don't know why I'm hating on it.
I really like... Anyways, we'll talk about it later.
Anyway, Lilo and Stitch.
God, I love Lilo and Stitch so much. Like, again, really like the movie. The movie is great. Like a very, very wholesome connection and bond built between Lilo and Stitch. And then, like, I believe, there's like 2 sequels that are also, like, obviously not as good, but decent. But what I really loved about Lilo and Stitch was the series. Because, basically, like, do you know the whole premise of Lilo and Stitch?
There's an alien that crashes in Hawaii, and
so it's all set in Hawaii, which is quite cool, first of all, because Hawaii is, like, at least for someone who's like from shitty Denmark, it's like, oh my god, Hawaii, it's tropical, it's a cool place to have this thing go on. But basically, in the movie, Stitch is like an experiment by this kind of weirdly, in the best way possible, he gives me a combination of my dad and Papa Hudson, a combination of those two. Weird vibes, but he's a scientist who's like really delightful, and he's made a lot of these like alien experiments that Stitch is one of, right?
I'm looking up the scientist who you are putting both of our fathers. What? This fucking alien person?
Yeah, he's called Jumba.
Okay, and I'm assuming you're his little stick insect friend?
No, I will not be Pleakley. Thank you very much. And I know this sounds very mean, and we can cut it out. But for a it's not mean. It's just more accurate, I'd say. But for a birthday card, I did take the entire Lilo and Stitch like family / collection of characters and like printed our friend groups or photoshopped our friend groups' faces onto them.
You
right?
did, yes. I
believe
remember that.
I believe I did make you Jumba, but
oh, wonderful.
Who I made Pleakley was indeed Yassine.
Oh, hey, that's on you. You know, I hope he listens to this and hates you forever. I remember
it would be
that
fair.
card.
I mean, Pleakley's a delightful character.
Who did you make yourself? Did you make yourself Lilo?
I think I made myself Stitch.
Uh-huh.
Because favoritism, I guess.
Yeah, I guess the winners write the history books.
And then the villain Gantu is like a huge like whale monster, also very funny and delightful. But basically, yeah, like the movie takes place, conflicts ensue, there's like a falling out, then they all make up, and then everything's good. But the show is so good because basically each episode, like the premise is that all these experiments were like released accidentally from the spaceship, and the way they're activated is if they touch water. So then each episode is basically a new experiment is activated, and they're basically like scatter all around Hawaii, right? And then an experiment / alien is activated, and then Lilo and Stitch have to go out and capture it, and then find a use for its powers, because each experiment has like, I don't know, some powers. Like, oh yeah, I can conduct electricity. Oh, I'm a volcano. I can scoop ice cream really well. You know, there's some like really stupid ones, but delightful.
Okay, that sounds like a pretty good premise for like a kid's kind of
it's like
monster
simple
of the
to
week.
follow, but also just delightful. Like every time it was on Disney show, God, I loved it.
Yeah, I don't know why I never got into it. I think I just like Stitch maybe like kind of freaked me out as a kid, or I think also as a kid you have the ones that you really like, and then when it isn't that, then you're like, I don't even want to look. So when Disney show was on, I was like, please be Phineas and Ferb or something, and then it was like Lilo and Stitch. I was like, I don't even want to, I don't want to watch that. So I don't know, but it does seem like a pretty kind of delightful, fun Disney thing.
It is.
And then we come to another one, which I do believe you actually mentioned in our favorite movies of all time episode.
I think I did. I think I know which one you're talking about.
Sorry.
It's Bolt, isn't it?
Treasure Planet.
Treasure Planet. So good.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but great things about it. I really should watch it.
Well, I think, from what I read, I was very surprised to read this, because like, oh, this is a Disney classic. Everyone loves this. But apparently it's like the biggest Disney bomb ever. Like the box office was so bad on it.
Yeah, I think it's very similar
and, like,
to
no one really knows it.
Emperor's New Groove, where it's like sort of seen as like the hidden gem of like Disney movies, especially in this sort of era where it gets buried.
It's so good. Like it combines like space, which everyone loves, like all the like, especially like as a child, all the like fun things you can do with like a space setting, and then pirates. It's space pirates. Like, what is not to love?
It's pretty badass.
And it's unlike a lot of other Disney movies, because they don't actually like, they don't sing in it. Like, they've got like one really, really good like theme song, but otherwise like there's no music in it. It's more like, it's basically just like a straight up action movie, I guess you could say, more so than like a kids movie. And there's like some pretty dark things in it as well, right? So there's like mutiny, and some of the ways people like die in it is like, it's something that like I think even like as an adult you can sit there and watch and be like, oh, this is a really good movie. Yeah,
just like a fun adventure.
Yeah,
what's not to love? You do have a kind of, I have to say, a clear like pirate obsession. Pirates and
if I suddenly turn pirate, you won't be surprised.
You have dressed up as a pirate, black sails. Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, no, I think that one,
a lot of red flags here.
I think that one looks, it kind of gives the vibes of like maybe a How to Train Your Dragon, just like an adventure, like sort of.
Yeah,
like a good time. Yeah, no, I'm on board. Have you seen Piglet's Big Movie? As opposed to like
Piglet's Big Movie, as opposed to Piglet's miniature movie.
Yeah, Piglet's shitty little film.
That was the subtitle. Piglet's Big Movie, aka Piglet's shitty little fucking montage.
Pooh has written the title. I don't know. I think I've probably seen this, but I don't know. I like I like Winnie the Pooh stuff, I guess. It does contain the song.
I like Pooh stuff.
Hey yo, calm down.
Yo.
It does have the song "Sing Ho for the Life of a Bear" in parentheses exposition march. Which is also, I like how they totally just shit all over the idea of Piglet's big movie with the first song being titled Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, there's finally Piglet's break. He's gonna get away, get some of his own content. Winnie the Pooh just waltzes in.
Entire musical number. God.
Movie ends with Piglet crying in the corner.
Winnie flips him the fuck off.
Piglet's put his life savings into this project. And it's just been for naught because of Pooh and Tigger.
Pooh extorts him for millions. Anyway.
I love talking about this and then just imagining that we're actually talking about just a piece of shit.
God. Keep in mind we're both 20 years old.
We have the combined ages of Pedro Pascal. I don't know if he's 40. I just tried to pull a random thing out of my poo ass. Sorry.
I hate you. Well, speaking of Pooh, I guess. Brother Bear. Do you have any...
Brother Bear is actually... I like Brother Bear. It's quite...
I've never seen it. I don't know. I remember we used to... I don't know if I should say this. We used to refer to one of our teachers as Brother Bear because he had like a very bear-like beard.
We did.
So that's just kind of why it makes me laugh. Also, okay, in not a weird way at all, this poster is fucking weird as hell.
Let's see it.
It's the one that
Brother
says
Bear.
Nature Calls on it. What the fuck is this poster? Anyway, I don't fucking know anything about this movie. There's a bear, I'm guessing.
Nature Calls. Also, you know when you say Nature Calls, that means that you need to piss.
That means that you need to take a massive
Big Bear. The Big Bear is so gonna hashtag Winnie the Pooh all over the little bear.
He's gonna use the little bear as toilet paper, clearly. Like, just the Dwayne eyebrow raise, Nature Calls. Also, like, Saturday, November 1st. It just seems so, like, official.
It's so up.
Oh, goodness.
The day of reckoning.
The day this bear will be drowned in this bear's shit. Anyway. Very
Once
strange.
again, let's remind people of our age once more.
Yeah. Let's remind people we're
Saturday,
both in
November
college.
1st is when the little brother bear is gonna literally suffocate in fecal matter from the big bear.
Yeah.
Also, I like how it's so official that it's only in theaters.
You ain't getting this shit anywhere else.
Literally. Goddamn.
That's what the bear's thinking here. You ain't getting this shit anywhere else. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
Fucking
Oh, my chest hurts.
Oh, my God. Joaquin
Holy shit.
Phoenix voices the brother bear.
Why is that not surprising?
Yeah, right. He was born for this role. Anyway, so as a
Oh, Jesus.
as a movie review podcast, that is our review of Brother Bear. Moving on.
Oh, Jesus.
Fuck it up. We have Pooh's Heffalump movie.
Come on.
Also, shocking realization here, the opening to this one, the song is also Winnie the Pooh. I'm guessing that's just the Winnie the Pooh theme song. So maybe we shit all over Piglet.
It'd be funny
for no
if
reason.
the opening to Pooh's movie would just be called Piglet Screaming. I have seen this movie, and from what I remember, I quite liked it.
I think I did too. Also, I'm sorry, the poster for this one, it just says in very big letters, "Have a nice day," which I just thoroughly enjoy.
Let me see it.
Have a nice day.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, I'm in such a giggly mood now.
This pod is where we've clearly lost our minds.
I mean, I will say, the way I've written this deserves some serious counseling. I wrote Heffalump Mavu Pooster. Completely. Oh my God. god.
Wait, so is this the one? Okay, because I remember there was one movie that they did where they're like all terrified of this like monster, and it turns out to be like kind of nice. This is this one. Okay, because
so basically,
I really
like
that one.
the Heffalump. I didn't just like it. I really liked it.
That's a fucking banger. That one.
The Heffalumps are like living in the forest, and no one ever really sees them. But they just know, like people just know that it's like this huge like hulking monsters that you just hear like similar to the T-Rex. Like you just hear the footprints of it, and then I believe it's either Roo or Piglet who gets stuck in the forest, and then they meet this Heffalump.
Yes, yeah. I like that movie. That's a good movie, I think.
I enjoy it. It's not a bad one.
We move on to a film named after your legs, Chicken Little.
Yeah, I thought for sure you were going to say Tigger's Movie.
I was definitely going to go with Meet the Robinsons. This was one of the first like computer animated ones, I think. And I mean, it's kind of the quintessential like 2005 animated Disney movie. Like it's sort of that exact what people think of this era. I think it's like sort of kind of weird, not great.
It's like I like the movie, I remember, but it's a little bit disturbing as well sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I remember not being crazy about it either way. I was just like, that was all right.
I remember it scaring me slightly.
I think at this time, like, DreamWorks was making these computer animated movies a bit better than Disney was. And it was kind of like, I think of watching this, I was like, I would rather be watching, like, Madagascar or, like, Kung Fu Panda or something, you know? Yeah, I don't know. It's fine, I guess. This one, whatever. I've never seen, but I'm aware of it because it looks like a, like, total Madagascar ripoff, but,
Okay.
The Wild, have you heard of this?
The Wild. Let's see here.
I've seen like stuff about it, like memes about it, I guess, where it's like just a total. It just looks like a Madagascar ripoff. Oh yeah, it even says on Wikipedia it received largely negative reviews. Its animation style and similarities to Madagascar.
See, it seems familiar. I'm looking at a picture here of like a koala, and I feel like I have seen that.
So anyway, Elle, I guess.
Yeah, not crazy about it. I don't remember much of it.
And then another computer animated one, which I remember not enjoying as a kid. But wait, Robots isn't Disney, is it? The Robots movie?
I don't know.
No, it's from Blue Sky. Sorry, very random. I was confusing it with this, but Meet the Robinsons. I remember I saw it in the cinemas, and I was like, I guess I like this because I'm like a kid, and like, you know, they're flashing images and fun action, whatever, but like, I don't know, I remember also thinking like, this is weird. Like,
this right here, it's strange.
Like even as a kid who would watch, you know, whatever nonsense, I was just like, this one's kind of weirding me out a little bit. I think it has time travel in it, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it, so I can't really comment, but
yeah, not bad, but I remember being like, I wouldn't, if you're a parent listening, which I know our demographic is heavily 30 to 50-year-old men and women, I would not show this one to your kids first. But yeah, anyway, great movie reviewing here. Enchanted is half animated, half live action. We're not going to include it, but
no.
Great movie. Tinkerbell, I don't know. I think I saw this because, of course, I did.
I think I saw Tinkerbell. I remember not much about it.
We have come to Bolt, second to last.
Okay, Bolt.
How are we feeling about Bolt?
I remember. I don't remember a lot of it. I remember it. It was okay. I remember I always liked it, but I always did think it was like it's kind of generic.
Yeah, a little mid. I do think
slight mid.
Yeah, so I remember it had kind of a creative premise. So like as a kid, I was thinking like, wow, this is really smart. It was sort of like just like different enough from like a usual like linear story for me to be like, wow, because it's like the dog plays a superhero, like plays a dog with powers on TV, and then he gets powers.
And he thinks he's a superhero as well, right? Like
yeah,
he's like,
yes, yeah,
and then he realizes he can't, but then he gets into some like, I don't know, is it like an electromagnetic accident or something? I don't know.
Something, yeah, kind of similar to the film Turbo.
Very true. A classic.
Also, I don't know what the fuck. Oh, someone's lowering some. Okay, pardon that noise. There's a thing. Anyway, I liked it. I think I liked it. I remember there's one line that made me laugh a lot as a child, where there's a pigeon who says, "My brain is the size of a very large raisin or a very small grape," or something like that. I remember that was very funny to me as a kid.
Oh, I thought that was gonna be like a punchline. But it was just that.
No. That is.
No, it's just a raisin.
It was good. It was good. It was a good meme. I don't know. I couldn't really get into it. I thought like, oh, there's like a little gerbil or something. Yeah, is John Travolta and Miley Cyrus. What a fucking absurd
What a weird combo. So John Travolta is Bolt, right?
Yes, I would assume
And
so.
who does Miley Cyrus play?
The black cat?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I remember liking it. I would put that one a little above like Meet the Robinsons, for example.
Yeah, it's nowhere near the Treasure Planet / Hercules, but it's good.
And finally, and a film that I actually am a very big fan of, another bit of an underrated one, The Princess and the Frog. I really like.
Yes, I really like as well.
I think it has one of, especially of this era, one of the best Disney villains in, what's his name? I can't even remember, but he's good. He does the song, the cards will tell the past,
The cards!
the present, and the future as well. It's a great song. And this one also, yeah, that like Louisiana setting just is a very
it's
cool
also just very
thing to visit for the film. Like, yeah, like a cool environment for the film to be set in.
it's Dr. Facilier.
Yes. Yeah. Great villain. And like, yeah, creepy kind of, not creepy, but like a trickster sort of like vibe to him, like the animation and everything. And yeah, the whole vibe of the movie
just
is
a bit of a scoundrel.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
he's got his belly buttons on display. Very brave choice.
Big fashion statement right there. Yeah, I mean, I remember thinking it's a fun premise. Like, she kisses the frog, and then she turns into a frog as well.
Yeah, and like again, it's also like similar to the Emperor's New Groove, where it's like kind of a cocky douche, like Prince becomes becomes a frog and then learns humility and falls in love, and it's just good.
Yeah, and she, like, Tiana, I think, is a really one of the better like Disney princesses, actually. Like, again, they get less like kind of generic as they go along. And I guess she isn't a princess really, but she's just like a very likable.
That's the whole thing, that she isn't a princess. But then he thinks she is, and then she turns into a frog as well.
Right. No, yeah, super likable, and like the whole movie just has like a likable vibe to it, and it's a fun, when they were doing these like Bolts and Chicken Littles and whatever, a fun return to 2D animation, one of like the last big 2D animated films, and like music's great, setting's great, story's well done. It's a good movie. It's just a very good movie, I would say.
It is a good movie. It's a great movie.
So should we hit a quick ranking as we've done in these others, where our top three and our least favorite?
I think so. You go ahead, sir. I need to think a little bit.
I'm gonna say number 3 might be Princess and the Frog.
Okay.
Number 2, I might have to go with Hercules, and then I'll say, number 1, Emperor's New Groove, I would say.
I see. Very different then.
And least favorite, again, I mean, the least favorite is just gonna be one that I don't really remember, like Meet the Robinsons or something, which I think was like fine at the time, but I'm gonna say The Wild, even though I'm pretty sure I've never seen it. I'm gonna say that's the worst one.
Okay, fair. I will probably agree with you on that one. But anyways, we'll see. We'll say my third one will be. It's between Lilo and Stitch and Princess and the Frog, for me.
You got to go with Lilo and Stitch. You have that connection.
I do, but as I said, like it's more of the TV show I'm connected to. But I will go with Lilo and Stitch.
Okay.
And then second one, Tarzan. And I forgot to mention, there's also a Tarzan TV show, which is also fantastic. And then first one, The Treasure Planet.
Let's go. Yeah,
just an absolute banger.
There's some good. There's some good. This era has some good stuff in it, I have to say. Really good stuff.
It does. It really does. And then least favorite, I guess I'll also go with the wild. Although I'm tempted to say
Brother Bear.
Brother Bear simply because of the
Nature calling?
poster.
All right, good stuff. Now we're going to move on to...
The Cnews.
Sorry, I was about to say it, and then I realized you say it, so there's kind of a weird beat there.
Now we're going to move on to the...
I guess, okay, so we're recording this on June 10th, which, if anything we say ages poorly until then, that's why. What do we do for the Timecodes? Do we just find a fact, maybe? Or do I find something random on his Wikipedia page? Let's say I do that.
Yeah.
Okay, he has a cousin. Tom Cruise has a cousin.
News just in.
And his name is... Do you want to guess his name?
Okay, give me a hint.
Come on. Okay, if you, okay, his last name is, if you have a piece of paper that leads you to a treasure, but it's a different one, and his first name is William.
Oh, that is so weird.
I don't know.
His first name is actually William, or
It is,
this
yeah.
part of the clue?
No, his
William Sapnap.
William
Satnav.
Mapother. Map other. Where did you get Sapnap from?
Like a sat map.
A sat map.
So like a satellite map, but
Oh. No.
like sat nav, but it's a map. But man,
So this was really good, Tom Cnews, today.
this is top tier comedy.
You know, he does look kind of like Cruise, though, a little bit.
Does he? Okay, so
sort
what did you say his name was?
William Mapother. If, like, Tom Cruise, like, didn't do whatever magic he does to, like, stay on... I shouldn't be mean to William Mapother. I'm sure he's... Anyway.
William Mapother looks like a combination of Tom Cruise and that one guy who does science video, like Hank Green.
You know what? I can see that. And maybe, like, a tiny bit of, like, an older Logan Paul thrown in. Anyway, I don't know why we're... Like,
and a tiny bit of Brother Bear shit.
I don't know why we're analyzing William Mapother. Good for him, I guess. Or maybe not. I don't know anything about him. Anyway, let's move on to the announcements and such, which either will be recorded or will be put in right now if we can record them this week this is going up, or more likely, we will not be able to record it, and we'll just hit the announcements in the next episode that's not pre-recorded.
Very cool.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. That's it for this week. If you did, drop a like, subscribe, hit the bell button, and let us know in the comments what your thoughts on the Disney movies from this era are and what you thought of this episode. Also, if you're listening on YouTube or on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, please leave a 5-star rating, hit the follow button, leave a nice review, and tell your friends about the pod. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your teachers. Don't do that, actually.
Don't tell your teachers. Tell your enemies, though. They don't need this extra strain.
Or bosses. Again, as we established, our audience is primarily parents in the 30 to 50 range.
True. True.
Anyway, you can find me on YouTube, BHL Hudson, Instagram, Twitter, BHL_Hudson, TikTok at BHL Hudson, Letterboxd at Real BHL Hudson. You can find the fan-made TikTok and the fan pages linked down below. And you can email the pod at bhlhudsonvids@gmail.com.
You can find me on Twitter at FTK_AdultSniper. You can find me on Instagram at Fidalgard. You can find me on Letterboxd at FTK_Thwilms. And you can find me on YouTube at FTK_... No, fuck. Shit. You can find me on YouTube at
FTK_fuck shit.
It's a new thing I'm trying.
Thank you very much for listening. And we will see you next time.
Nature calls.